All right, so it's a good week later since I recorded the last part of this video, but we're gonna do the crankshaft position sensor today. I finally found time to do that. All right, so we got the sensor right here. I got a Delphi crankshaft position sensor. Yeah, it's not gonna be fun, but it's not too difficult, but it's not gonna be fun. So the first thing, remove the passenger coil pack assembly. Looks like we gotta remove the passenger coil pack assembly and then the passenger side header and the starter. It should be pretty easy. But first we gotta remove the coil pack, the passenger coil pack assembly. But yeah, this assembly is pretty much just some tins and it pops off. The reason I'm changing the crankshaft position sensor, so I was having to crank it twice to start, and I thought the issue was the tune at first. It probably still is part of the tune. It is pretty, it runs pretty rich. It doesn't need a new tune, but I scanned the car and I noticed there was a crankshaft position sensor out of range code. So I was like, maybe this will fix my issue for now until I have time to go get a tune. So yeah, we're gonna try this first. Hopefully it fixes it. But yeah, I just wanted to, yeah, that's why we're doing this. And it should. It pops off, but we gotta. All right, so we got the coil pack assembly off. That is step one. Next, we need to take off the passenger header. Now we got to break all the bolts loose on the header so we can pull the freaking header up. So then we can access the starter so that we can access the crankshaft position sensor. Hopefully, I have the right bit for that so that I can get the header off. I might not have that here. I might have to wait till tomorrow to get those off if I don't have it here, because I have all those tools at work, but we'll see. All right, luckily we have some, but let's hope we have the right size. All right, so luckily I found this one. Looks like it's an eBay bit. And it's the perfect size, so we can knock this header off and then get to the starter. This one, kind of right towards, so that we. All right, so I had to switch to iPhone cam for a second. So we need to break that loose. We need to break that loose so we can get the header off to the top of the car. Then we have to take the starter off so we can access the crankshaft sensor. How easy we can see it on camera. The crankshaft sensor is above the starter. All right, so we're back on the iPhone. I can't get the header out. So I'm gonna try and work around it. I don't know how well that's gonna go, but I need to get the starter off. So the problem with these headers is they're too wide to get through that hole, and that's too wide. So it's not coming out the top like probably other headers do, because these are Cook's headers. I don't know the size. I really wanted to get it out so I can clean them, because that does look like crap. But I'm gonna try and work around it and get to the starter from the bottom. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't know if this is gonna work or not. Hopefully it will, because I really need to change the sensor because I have something else planned that's coming to tomorrow, and that'll be a whole nother video, but we need the crank sensor for what we're about to do. All right, so I got down there and looked at it, and I'm gonna be honest, it does not look like I'm gonna be able to do it unless I get this freaking header out. And if I'm being honest, I don't know how I'm gonna get this out, bro. Like, this is as far as it goes, and it just gets stuck. So I might have to bend some hoses or something just to make this work. It's kind of sketchy. I could mess something up, but I really need to get this out or I cannot access the starter, and this has been a waste of time if I cannot get this freaking header out. All right, so I don't know how easy it is to see, but I was able to get the starter out with the header unbolted and pushed down a little bit. So now I gotta locate the old crankshaft position sensor so that I can take the bolt out of that, put the new one in, and we should be good to reassemble everything. This has been a pain in the ass. I'm just ready to get it done, get the car back together, and get it back to running. All right, an hour and a few cuts later, we finally got the old sensor out. And here's the new one. Looking a lot better, a lot newer. Hopefully it works. It was a lot of work. Yeah, as I said, all I had to do was just drop the header, and I was able to get the starter out. Then I had access up to get the sensor out. But now's the fun part. We gotta put it all back together and make sure it starts. Cause that's the number one thing. We gotta make sure this baby still runs. Cause if not, we're gonna have issues. Hopefully I didn't mess up the starter at all. I did disconnect the battery. I did make sure I did that. So, but whenever I was pulling on the header, it did scratch up the starter a little bit. It shouldn't be an issue. That shouldn't be an issue. Shouldn't be an issue, but you never know. Anything's possible. Normally when you're working on your car, something else breaks. But yeah, I'm gonna put it back all together. We're gonna make sure she runs. All right, crankshaft sensor is back in. We gotta put the starter back in. Then we gotta bolt the header back up, and then we're done. That was such a pain in the ass. I don't know why they had to make it so difficult, but we're almost there. Just a few more steps and we can start the car. All right, so the starter should be all good. We gotta throw the gasket back on, throw the header back on. Then we got a O2 sensor, all that good stuff, tighten everything up. I literally just said that in the last clip, but we're getting there, baby. We're getting there. All right, so header's back on, O2 sensor's back on. It went smooth, besides I cross-threaded one bolt, so I'm gonna have to tap that tomorrow and rethread the bolt. That's not that big of an issue. I'm just glad I stopped it before it got too fucked up, so I didn't snap a bolt off into the head. But yeah, all that's good. We just gotta put the dipstick back on, put the coil pack back on, and then I have to tighten the clamp to the X pipe, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. Then we can start the car. That won't be an issue. I can still start it. It shouldn't. It might leak a little bit, but I just mainly want to make sure everything runs smoothly. All right, that should be everything. I plugged everything back in. Now all we're left to do is just start it up and hope for the best.